Birds of Prey, issue 26, legacy number 224, Kelly Thompson writing with Vicente Cifuentes, who knows, and Sami Basri on art. Cifuentes?
Cifuentes.
All right. So Birds of Prey, we had some confusion at the end of the last issue about what was going on. Now, I think it does make sense to me now that I've read all of this, but it's not like... It didn't click immediately. Like, I had to just see them use it. Like, I had to see them kind of actually use it for a few scenes, and I'm like, okay, I kind of get what this is now. So... Yeah, they're putting on these fancy suits, which does make it appear that they're wearing these outfits that everyone can see them. But I think calling it virtual reality, which they do in the issue, that is the one mistake I think Kelly Thompson's make, is this is actually augmented reality, not virtual reality. So that's maybe, I don't know if that's just maybe an editor's changed it, because that's happened to me before, where I actually corrected, I don't know if you remember this, but I corrected Tim Seeley over a Scottish phrase that he got incorrect, and then he turned out and said, no, I wrote that down the way it's supposed to be, and the editor changed it thinking it was wrong. So it could be that, who knows, but basically these suits appear to everyone, but the game that they're going to play is an augmented reality game where they're going to go through Gotham City looking for clues, but the clues aren't there physically. They're there because this tech also makes stuff appear to them in the world. So
it's like Ready Player One without the goggle setup, right?
Well, no, because I think you have to really make it clear they're still moving around in the real world. They're still
in the real world, correct? But they're interacting with stuff that is not there, but they can see.
Yes. But even the regular public can see their silly outfits, which does beg the question: why does the regular public? Why does people who are not involved in the game, who are not wearing the fancy tech, why do they need to see what their suits look like?
Also, what was with the ending of the last issue when they're all on the flipping gas stuff, locked in the room?
I'd have to go back and read it to even begin to try and answer that. But I think it was just sort of saying you have to take this to see this. I don't know.
Yeah, but the way they were menacing through, and then now they're just fine. So you got to get a little bit high to do this augmented reality game.
I don't know.
I guess
it doesn't matter. I'm just going to forget the gas thing, because at least now I understand how the suits work. I understand what they're seeing and the type of game they're in. Now they don't know what the goal of the game is quite yet, and that's kind of what they're trying to find out, because they're trying to find out the person. They're trying to find the person who built this game, this person whose tech was even kind of used to build these suits in the first place, because they want to find her, because she's this super hacker. She's maybe the key to stopping the Shadow Army, because the Shadow Army are also trying to interfere with this game, and they're going to even run into them in this issue. So the start of the issue is a mission with Cass and Dinah breaking into these servers to mess with the tech. So they've got a backdoor so Oracle can hack in and put them into the game.
Right.
So it's okay, this was good, because this was a good introduction. It set up what they were doing for the rest of the issue, and got got the ball rolling on all that stuff.
I love that Cass tells Canary, up. No one ever looks up, and then it cuts to them, the security forces in the server room, looking for them, and they're up in the rafters, hiding. So I just thought that whole sequence was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I liked just the vibe of this, because it was a really normal, nice little sequence between the two of them. They also set up this idea that they can't be caught, because if anyone knows they've interfered, then the game might get shut down, or they'll not do it. They have to. This has to be a completely stealthy thing. But there's a nice little sweet moment at the end, where Cass seems a little bit down, more so than usual, and Dinah's trying to get her to open up. And there's a nice little panel at the end where she puts her arm around her, and we'll find that missing piece. You're looking for, kind of thing, or the missing piece that because she's worried that the plan, they don't really know enough details to know if it'll go well. So they're all trying to figure it out. So there's a nice little briefing page where Babs talks to them all and says what they're trying to do. They're trying to find this hacker girl, and so on and so on. And it sets up that they're going to go. So they're all in these fancy outfits that they set up last issue, and they go to this bar, this pub, which is where the game starts. And they basically need to solve riddles. And maybe the running gag here that I'm assuming you liked a lot was that Barda hates riddles. She hates puzzles, and she's like, "Please, God, just let me punch something. Please
give me something to punch." Yes.
Yeah.
Which I do love because, like, yeah, that's not part of her thing. And then Canary even's like, did you need to make yourself bigger in this to participate? Like, you're 7 feet tall now, and now you have the wings and the ginormous head.
Well,
you know.
That's the other little gag there. It's not a running gag per se, but there's a couple of pages there where Canary says to Barda, normally you kind of stick out anyway because you're a perfect 10 who's 7 foot tall. And Barda's like, yes, I am very amazing. All of my assets are very good. And that kind of becomes a thing for like a page or two where she keeps saying how great and perfect she is. It is almost like, not like a real jealousy, but just like a little catty comment from Dinah as she's like kind of, yes, you're very perfect. We all know.
And my hearing is perfect too.
Yeah, because
we all know.
Yeah, she makes a little comment under her breath, like, my hearing's very good too. He's like, yes, we know.
But yeah.
So that's all fun stuff. And then another part of this that I like, because the character stuff is usually Kelly Thompson shining considerably. And I love that while you have Barda like hating all of this game, Sin actually kind of digs it and is enjoying solving the puzzles. And is getting really excited, and like Dinah's like, damn, I'm going to have to like learn how to play games like this because I want to bond with my sister. So I was liking all that stuff. And then once they realize that some of the Shadow Army are around, Barda's like, hey, can we go punch them instead? And it's like, okay, Barda and Dinah go and take care of the villains, whilst Sin and Cass can go solve more of the puzzles, more of the games. So we get a whole fight here taking place in the street between two of the heroes and a bunch of the villains. The most notable part of it, more than anything, is the one with the magic powers, the spells.
Golden Lion.
Thank you. I never remember the names of these characters. But he takes over some police officers and makes them shoot at Dinah. But Barda realizes they're about to do this, so Barda jumps in and basically blocks all the bullets with her back. It's a really nice moment because it's like a whole, it's very heartwarming, her saving the day, protecting Dinah. So it's a really nice beat. So it one shows just how desperate the villains are that they're willing to do this, but it's also a really nice character heroic bit for Barda and her and Dinah's relationship. So all very good. And then when they get back to Cass is like, I think I've figured out the game. They're trying to find the seam, and then she just walks through the wall. So this was heavily back in like the late teens of the book. They talked about the seam quite a bit.
That's when we got Constantine as well showing up.
Yeah,
for the first time.
Because that was, or they say earlier on in this issue that it seems like the reason why the hacker always sets the game up in Gotham, despite the fact that other cities want her to do it in their city, is because she's actually using it to have the players look for something. And Cass figures out, or seemingly figures out, that it's the seam that she's looking for. So that's what the cliffhanger is at the end of the issue. So
do you think that's what she means by there's a piece missing? Is that's the thing that they were trying to figure out?
Well, we still don't know what the hacker wants with the seam, and we don't really know what the villains want. Like, do they want to get the hacker for a reason, or are they also looking for the seam? I'm not actually sure on that yet.
Right. I'm not sure either. I did prefer this issue with how straightforward it was versus the kind of jumping around stuff they did in the last one. This one went through and they had a mission. We knew they were trying to figure stuff out. There's still little spaces here. Like, I don't know what we're supposed to be looking at when Barda notices that the Shadow Army's there. It's just a street, like a downtown area that's aglow with like a sunset. But she claims to see them, right? So I don't know what we're supposed to be looking at in that page.
I mean, I just sort of took it as they're down the street and Barda can see far because she's perfect. She's got perfect vision, you see.
Right. And then just the whole thing where they have to remember that they're still in Gotham, right? They're not in the game. So these are Gotham police officers. Yes. That Golden Lion has shoot on them, right? So they could only do so much.
To be fair, based on Batman issue 2, they didn't need to take over them. They'd have probably started blasting anyway, like Danny DeVito.
They're friends. They're friends with Batman. Take them out. Yes. So, and then we get a nice Barda moment too, where she's, being walked through the boom tube with Canary. And, she goes, maybe fewer derogatory remarks about the size of my shoulders and or inflated if lovely head. She says deal. So
again, after she's blocked the bullets. Yeah.
Stuff.
Because
after
she's like, that's oversized shoulders just saved your life kind of thing.
So,
but yeah, no, I mean, that stuff's good. Obviously, the art here is mostly really pleasing. BASRI, good. I mean, that's not the only artist on this one, admittedly, but yeah, I mean, I think, once I got that it was just LARPing, but with augmented reality, it made a lot more sense, and, we have a kind of a goal in mind. And bringing back the seam feels like we're bringing other parts of the run back, so it does kind of feel like we're using like a lot of the things that have been built up over time. Is nice. It's just a shame that the book's ending soon, because like it feels like, there's a lot more relationship stuff that I want to see kind of pay off and like be formed. I think Dinah getting close to her sister's cool. Obviously, everything with Barda and Little Bat, as she calls her, is been really enjoyable. Especially when they do show up after Barda's taken all those bullets, and she looks kind of hurt by them. She'll be fine, but she's obviously a little bit in pain. Cass is the one that comes up and says, what happened? Are you okay? Her being the one that shows concern immediately is really sweet, because their relationship's been built up so well. So, yeah, good stuff. All right, sure. we give Birds of Prey.
I'm gonna this is 7.5.
I'm only going with the 8 on this. I think this was definitely a more coherent issue. Definitely cleaned up some of the problems from the last one. I don't know what that was. Maybe it was just I kept being I was so confused by the explanation last issue of what the hell was going on at the end. It turned out just to be a simple case of I just need to see it in action to understand what the hell this is, because they kept talking about the unreality, which is what the game is called, and I'm like, what is the unreality? Are they still in the real world? The answer to that was yes, but that wasn't entirely clear last issue.